As I was walking all a-line, I saw twa corbies a mucking main, and the tame to the did say, "Oh, where shall we gang and dine the day, oh, where shall we gang and dine the day? Out beyond yon old Veldike, I wot there lies a new slain knight, and nae but kens that he lies there, oh, but his hound and his hawk and his lady fair, oh, his hound and his hawk and his lady fair. Well, his hound is to the hunting game, his hawk to fetch the mere hame, his lady's ten, another mate, oh, say we may mock a dinner sweet, oh, say we may mock a dinner sweet. Will you light upon his poor husband, and I'll back out his bonny blue line, with many a lock of his golden hair, oh, we'll pick our nest where it grows bare, oh, we'll pick our nest where it grows bare. Well, how many a ein for in Mock's main, yet none may ken where he has gained, nor his white binds when they are bare, oh, cold winds will blow forevermore, oh, cold winds will blow forevermore. Di-di-dum-di-dum-dum, di-la-di-dum, di-di-dum-di-dum-dum, di-la-di-dum, di-di-dum-di-dum, di-la-di-dum-di-dum, di-di-dum-di-dum-dum, di-la-di-dum, di-di-dum-di-dum, di-di-dum, di-di-dum-di-dum, di-la-di-dum-di-dum, di-di-dum-di-dum-dum, di-la-di-dum, di-di-dum-di-dum, di-di-dum. We'd like to bring out the third part of Knotwork, Robert Fabrach. A cock and a hen rambled off with each other, and they travelled all Ireland around and about, until they reached Sligo, where they met with some bother. They sent for the lawyers to help them get out. Before sergeants and judges they took up their station, but the sheriff stepped forward and gave them off right. They flew to McNally's where they got their nominations. 8 brages all lay with safe roosting by night. Give me right fiddle-dee, right fiddle-dee. Astride of his racehorse my rooster looked, dashing amid a great concourse at the market all fair, with a watch at his waist and his bridges in fashion, his gleaming sword held for all to beware. His spurs were of silver, a sprig of white heather stuck in his laced hat that swept down to each wing. His boots, they were made of the best Spanish leather, with a whip in his claw he progressed like a king. Rattle, 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 give me right fiddle-dee, right fiddle-dee. me right fondly, right fondly. At the door of Tom Hood's place I stood a while watching them, and there were hens by the dozen, but no cock at all, so I strutted around with me picking and scratching, but divil a hen would come to my call. Oh, then the housekeeper grabbed me and tied me and weighed me. I felt in my gizzard my end had drawn near, and there beside a knife on the table she laid me, and that was the end of this poor Chanticleer. Ready, give me right fondly, right fondly. Alas, the hen, when she heard the sad story, who's there now to look after my chicks? To think of an end so untimely and gory, for my mate on the rooster, the father of six. I'm husbandless now, what's the use of my laying not a grain? Will I peck till I go to the clay? I'll spend all the rest of my days here inveighing against the wenches who stole my old cock away. Round, 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 right, give me right fondly, right fondly. We have a little violin in the monitor. Can I have a little bit? Can you hear yourself? Do you need it in the monitor? Well, then ask. What do you need? She needs violin and guitar in her monitor. In diesem Monitor. You don't. I'd like to hear the violin.
It's perfect.
Sehr gut.
I can't hear anything, I'm sorry.
This next song is called The Heron, and this is an old traditional ballad in English.
You really need it for this song.
Yeah, I can hear it here now. You can come over here. Just stand over here. So this is called The Heron, and this is an old ballad It's a very strange story. Like a lot of these ballads are set in a kind of a medieval, timeless age. Illo tempore, it's sort of neither here nor there, and it's very hard to tell what it's really about, but it tells the story of a mysterious hall with a bed in the room and a knight lying on the bed whose wounds are bleeding, a bit like you see in the Nibelungenlied, actually, images like that. And there's a maiden who's able to magically staunch the wounds and stem the blood. It's called the Hangman. The Hangman flew east, the Hangman flew west, Lully, she bore her off the forest, and the falcon that bore my mate away. She bore her all the meadows green, all to spy one might be seen, and the falcon that bore my mate away. She bore her to an orchard fair, where groweth the apple and the pear, and the falcon bore my mate away. And in that orchard there stands a hall, it's clad all over with purple and gold, and the falcon bore my mate away. And in that hall there stands a bower, it's covered all with periwinkle flowers, and the falcon that bore my mate away. And in that bower there stands a bed, with silken sheets and ropes so red, and the falcon that bore my mate away. And on that bed there lies a knight, his wounds do bleed both day and night, and the falcon that bore my mate away. cloud on the maiden way. And by that bed there stands a stone. Silver needle, silken thread, she stands where the wounds do bleed, from the pallid illuminated way. Thank you very much. This is another traditional ballad that you might recognize from other versions. There's some strange ones that bands from England did in the 80s. This is a more traditional version of it. The Two Magicians, also known as the Blacksmith. It's a transformational magical ballad, so it's a tale of a blacksmith chasing his target, the woman he wants, and he's constantly transforming himself into different creatures, and she outwits him by transforming herself into another creature that can get away. But he gets the girl in the end. The Two Magicians. The lady stands at an old front door, as straight as a willow wand. Then along there came a husky smith with a hammer in his hand. Oh, lady, dress you lady fair, all in your robes of red. Before tomorrow at this same time I'll have your maiden. He said, bye, lady, bye, there's no way you can hide. The rusty smith will be your making, that'll hold down your pride. Oh, wait, you go, blacksmith, would you me this wrong? Think I had my maiden head that I have kept so long. Run around with dead and cold, with the body laid in the grave. Then a husky, dusky, cold blacksmith my maiden it should have. But he swore by lady, by, there's no way you can hide. The rusty smith will be your making, that'll hold down your pride. Then the lady she held up her hand and swore upon her soul. I would not be the blacksmith's wife for the full of a chest of gold. Then the blacksmith he held up his hand and swore upon the mass. I'll have you for me, lovely girl, before I have that all less. And he swore by lady, by, there's no way you can hide. The rusty smith will be your making, that'll hold down your pride. She turned herself into a ship and sailed upon the floor. He banged the nail into her tail and soon the ship she stood. Then she became a little duck floating on the pond. And he became a pink-necked drake and he chased her around and around and quacking by lady by, there's no way you can hide. The rusty smith will be your making, that'll pull down your pride. Then she became a little sheep to graze upon the common, and he became a shaggy old ram and swiftly fell upon her. She turned herself into a hare to run upon yon plain, and he became a greyhound dog and he fetched her back again, barking by lady by, there's no way you can hide. The rusty smith will be your making, and a level down your pride. Then she became a little green fly up in the air, and he became a hairy spider and fetched her to his lair. She turned herself to a swift young mare, as dark as the night was black, and he became a golden saddle and he climbed up on her back. Riding by, lady, by, there's nowhere you can hide. The rusty smith will be your make and level down your pride. Then she became a hot griddle and he became a cake, and all the way she turned herself, the blacksmith was a bake. Then she became a turtle dove and flew back in the air, and he became an old clock pigeon and they flew on pair and pair, and he could bite, lady, bite, there's no way you can hide. The rusty smith will be your make and level down your pride. Then she became a hot griddle and he became a cake, and all the way she turned herself, the blacksmith was a bake. Then she became a turtle dove and flew back in the air, and he became an old clock pigeon and they flew on pair and pair, and he could bite, lady, bite, there's no way you can hide. The rusty smith will be your make and level down your pride. Then she became a mulberry bush growing in the wood, and he sprinkled her at the morning dew, he sprinkled her where she stood. Then she ran to her own bedroom and she became the bed, and he became a green coverlet and he gained her maiden Ned, and he crowed, bite, lady, bite, there's nowhere you can hide. The rusty smith will be your make and level down your pride. Bite, lady, bite, there's nowhere you can hide. The rusty smith will be your make and level down your pride. Bite, lady, bite. Thank you. We'll do a couple of acoustic versions of things that people may recognize from another project. to have noch ein von David Cousins. Are even clear of dogs and whores. Like some evil bird of prey, the scaffold spreads its wings, and the people build their fires and bolt their doors. And the mayor is giving dinner to the officers and wives. His eldest son is learning how to fawn, and the barrack blocks lay hushed with the soldiers drawing lots. Who will be the hangman in the dawn? Serve for but a year. His home is in the village close nearby. He shivers at the thought of what he's forced to do next day, and he wonders who it is that has to die. And the full moon casts a cold light on the gloomy prison walls, and the Papist walks his cell, he cannot sleep. He hears the waiting gallows creaking just beyond the door, and he prays but he has no more tears to weep. Begins to gather in the square. The presence of the hangman in his terrifying mask weighs heavy on the minds of all those there. And the colonel reads the sentence, which the Papist knows by heart. He has failed to show allegiance to the king. His crime is thus with God himself, and in his name he must hang. And the Papist head held high sense Monday. The chain binds his hands and puts the blindfold to his eyes. He leads him through the door before a crowd. The hangman sees his victim, and the blood drains from his face. He sees his younger brother but is ordered, proceed. His trembling hands begin to take the strain. His eyes are blind with streaming tears, and he cries for all to hear. Forgive me, God, we hang him in thy name. Forgive me, God, we hang him in thy name. Forgive me, God, we hang him in thy name. Thank you. Danke sehr. Sehr schön hier im Meer zu sein. Feuer und Eis vom Fleisch. Check. 1, 2, check.
Ian Reed.
Black for the children to dwell. Dragons in the sunset upon the darkened sea, sailing through the mists of time, calling unto me. Ghost ship black and gleaming, linen shining bright, ancient kinsmen call my name, far off in the night. It stood restless, and I knew not why. Memories spark was there, the twinkling of the eye. Heard the thunder and saw the flash, the stormy sky did speak. A voice whispered to my soul, you are not of the meek. Are not yours to bear. You have heard the raven speak and seen the eagle snare. Battle's pain and scold's words on our flowing me. Steps along the lonely path where waits the eight-legged steed. Then I came unto a place of trees and running streams. There I saw heaven's sign, a will that did gleam. Reality, then I knew I had found my king. Now I sail to that great hall upon the fleeting wind. Sailing on the breeze, black and gleaming beam. The hand upon the steering board has set my spirit free. Lost no more to time and place, for I have seen the land. I have heard the Valkyrie song, and I've touched Odin's hand. I have heard a Valkyrie song, and I've touched Woden's hand.
cries long lanking, who's sleeping. His cradle said false nurse, to him my soul will pinch him and will prick him all over with a pin, and we'll make his mother come down to him. Well, they pinched him and they pricked him all over with a pin, and the false nurse held a basin for the blood to run in. Oh, well, nurse, how you slumber, the nurse, how you sleep. You leave my small baby to cry and to weep. Well, I've tried him with milk, and I've given him a pat. Come down, my lady, and rock him in your lap. Oh, here I come down the stairs, where no fire is alight. The lady came downstairs, where oh no harm. He stood ready to catch her in his arms. Well, there's blood in the kitchen and there's blood in the hall, and there's blood in the parlour where my lady did fall, and there's blood in the parlour where my lady did fall.
Nimm alle Babys weg von mir.
Doused in shadows in the forest, Lord of secrets cloaked in green, unchanged fastness of the old gods, hiding places none have seen. Witness of 1,000 meetings, utter ambush, plot and twist, refuge for the frightened robber, mossy beds where lovers kissed. Leaf-strewn Malay sanctuary, home of ever watchful eyes, neighbors with no love or crying, sentinels who tell no lies. There beyond the visual wonder lie the sacred roots of men, rustle through the sun-gilt treetops, blown across the breezy fen. Dow's deep shadowed in the forest, Lord of secrets cloaked in green, unchanged fastness of the old gods, hiding places none have seen.
In case any of you are in any doubt, I am a working Gilded, for those who know what that means. So I had to cut some of that because of things that are going on at the moment. So I apologise if I did that, but I'm a folk singer and we do strange things like that. Hier ist geschafft, weil etliche Leute haben uns geholfen. Und wir sind dafür sehr dankbar. Und dieses Lied ist für euch. Umschweben, werden sich die Nebel senken. Göttlichen Symbole Eingang in dein Schauen finden, ob das Spiel sich wiederhole, kannst du ahnen, nicht ergründen. Kannst du Opfer zollen, Kränze flechten, Kronen schmieden, aber was die Götter wollen, bleibt im Letzten unentschieden. Denn die Zeichen, die wir schaffen, sind nur Blätter oder Spiele, über die wir bald verlassen, wegen Marken keine Ziele. Das ist, was passiert, wenn man zu viele Sprachen im Kopf hat. Gemeinische Sprache. Fractured man, higher circuit dweller, woe borer who walks the dreams of dragons, the dust of the centuries is in his eyes. You do not know the first note of his music, the spirit dancing in the brightness of his soul, to conjure the word and waken to the known, the edge of what we know and what we fear. Fractured man, higher circuit dweller, woe borer who walks the dreams of dragons, the dust of the centuries is in his eyes. From the dark place hidden behind his eyes, he utters words like elven tears, and an ancestor incarnates in his blood when he summons the 9 dark shades of night. Fractured man, higher circuit dweller, woe borer who walks the dreams of dragons, the dust of the centuries is in his eyes. He can sing runes and gaze into both worlds. He's drenched in the tears of the world, often mistaken for the mask he wears by those who dwell neath high one's gallows. Fractured man, higher circuit dweller, woe borer who walks the dreams of dragons, the dust of the centuries is in his eyes. This is from Mouse. Wrapped in long, enchanted sleep, a summer dreaming lord lies deep. His lady ever wandering weeps, her tears her lord alive to keep. Tiny creatures twitching snouts, smells a secret that is out. Dragon sent to sleep by doubt, stretch their limbs and look about. Raven Beth and Lily Rose, through the fire leaping go, dancing barefoot in the snow, crouching down to make an eye hole. Hear us buzzing in the hive, a steady dream, millennia live. Feel the sun begin to rise, dreamers, lovers, honey dive. A motley fool who men thought drowned in ancient waters, dark deep down. The prince of dreamers sought and found, and bore to morning sun his crown. Raven Beth and Lily Rose, through the fire leaping go, dancing barefoot in the snow, crouching down to make an eye hole. Resounding like a south-struck gong, sing with hearts the awakening song, round the hearth where we belong. Here life's focus shimmers strong. Raven Beth and Lily Rose, through the fire leaping go, dancing barefoot in the snow, crouching down to make an eye hole. Blue Yeshua, I've led you for years, till I turned and you offered that chalice of tears. Through the core of my madness, poured my darkness, my anger. Your epiphany seduced me, scorning my danger. cannot escape you, you who forms me. Fearless and innocent, criminal free. Greyhead, greyhead, little one, little one. My father, my lover, my brother, my son. Your boundless ambition, celestial lust, burn sorrow to ashes and smelt out into dust. You sculptor of bodies, made a covenant of flesh. Fluid meets ceaselessly, rendered afresh. Greyhead, greyhead, little one, little one. My father, my lover, my brother, my son. Angel of eternity, denier of death, the terror of nations and Lucifer's breath. You haunted my nightmares, you stalked through my life, my predatory angel and my shadow dark one. Greyhead, greyhead, little one, little one. My father, my lover, my brother, my son. Greyhead, greyhead, little one, little one. My father, my lover, my brother, my son. Dieses Lied ist sehr alt und geht einen sehr kleinen Vogel, der im Deutsch heißt ein Zaunkönig. In English ist Wren. Cutty heißt ja, klein, so wie geschnitten. So. Aber unsere Ahnen haben gedacht, dass dieser Vogel sehr viel Kraft beinhaltet. Und sie werden das hören. Tell you, said vessel to foes. Look to the greenwood, said John the Red-Nosed. We're off to the greenwood, said John the Red-Nosed. And what will you do there, said Milder to Moulder. We may not tell you, said vessel to foes. We'll hunt the cutty wren, said John the Red-Nosed. We'll hunt the cutty wren, said John the Red-Nosed. shoot her, said Melder to Moulder. We may not tell you, said Thistle to foes. With bows and with arrows, said John the Red-Nosed. Bows and with arrows, said John the Red-Nosed. Oh, that will not do, said Melder to Moulder. What we'll do then, said Thistle to foes. With guns and big cannons, said John the Red-Nosed. Guns and big cannons, said John the Red-Nosed. And how will you bear her, said Melder to Moulder. We may not tell you, said Thistle to foes. On 4 strong men's shoulders, said John the Red-Nosed. On 4 strong men's shoulders, said John the Red-Nosed. Well, that will not do, said Melder to Moulder. What we'll do then, said Thistle to foes. Big carts and big wagons, said John the Red-Nosed. Big carts and big wagons, said John the Red-Nosed. And how will you cut her, said Melder to Moulder. We may not tell you, said Thistle to foes. With knives and with forks, said John the Red-Nosed. With knives and with forks, said John the Red-Nosed. Well, that will not do, said Melder to Moulder. What we'll do then, said Thistle to foes. Big hatchets and cleavers, said John the Red-Nosed. Big hatchets and cleavers, said John the Red-Nosed. And who'll get the spare ribs, said Melder to Moulder. We may not tell you, said Thistle to foes. We'll give them to the poor, said John the Red-Nosed. We'll give them to the poor, said John the Red-Nosed. Sad and woeful words to frame, to break the ties that bound us, and harder still to bear the shame of foreign chains around us. And so I said, the mountain glen I'll seek at morning early, and join the bold united men, while soft winds shake the barley. Sad I kissed away her tears, my fond arms round her flinging. The foam and shot burst on our ears from out the wildwood ringing. A bullet pierced my true love's side in life's young spring so early. On my breast in blood she died, while soft winds shook the barley. Blood for blood without remorse, I've shedded a blood hollow, and laid my true love's cold clay corpse where I full soon may follow. As round her grave I wander drear, noon, night and morn. hear the wind that shakes the barley. There's people who mess around with dangerous things. There's a few of them in this room. But there's a piece of glass, and there's a bird, and there's the tooth of a tiger, and there's a piece of a paving stone, and you mix that sort of thing all together, and you get what the followers of the white Christ would call an unclean spirit. So I don't take most of these wankers seriously, but a few. And this is for the few. Seen I can by a woodstone mound, striving to keep thee while free. By the sign of day I saw thee, blazing by me. So then I commanded the sacred flame breath, as long hence was gifted to some, made giddy without a warning, is tuned to that drum, with a voice like wind, seething across fallen snow. I have walked twixt many a word and deed, proud as each lord of the day, in search of night over Drichten, a part to slay. And if we were bound on, as was the wild one, where the sky and earth shall meet, I shall pledge the shining mystery, thee to greet, with a voice like wind, seething across fallen snow. Forged a covenant, thee and mine, that states our place and duty. So when Albion gleams, I ken thee, shining and free. Ich met Jalrachetan, they will know the on Saul. Ich mit Jalrechetan, they will know the on Drehkraft. Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why your power is so. Hush, mama, bushel, hush and listen. And his cheeks were all aglow. I bear orders from the captain, get you ready, quick and soon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. In the old spot by the river, right well known to you and me. One more word or signal token, whistle up the marching tune, with your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon, with your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. Out of many a mud-wall cabin, eyes were watching through the night. Many's the hearts were throbbing for the coming morning light. Birds rang along the valley like the banshee's lonely crew, and 1,000 pikes were flashing at the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing at the rising of the moon. All along the singing river, that dark mass of men was seen. Far above their shining weapons hung their own beloved green. Death to every foe and traitor, forward strike the marching tune. And huzzah, me boys, for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon. And huzzah, boys, for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. Long time ago, this came out. Nothing's got any better, and you should dream. Look, you're young people, you've got to dream a better world, and you've got to make it happen. Because it ain't been done in my name, none of it. How fine your trees stand gilded by the sun. Across the land and in your fields the tree-lined waters run. But in your heart what light is there? What grows and comes to flower? Does mine grow cold? Do weaken hands let slip their ancient power? Albion, how fine your trees stand gilded by the sun. Albion, I see you now, once noble, high and fair. Your greatness gone, your wealth dispersed, as empty as the air. What wasting sickness struck so at the flesh beneath the skin, took might and honour at a stroke, and withered from within. How beyond, how fine your trees stand gilded by the sun. How beyond a sapling tall, but one that dies not grows. The greater tree you left to fall, but now your own sap slows. The winter comes to all that lives, the ice that slays the root. If spring should ever shine again, will you still bear a shoot? How beyond, how fine your trees stand gilded by the sun. How beyond, if worth remained, if aught is left to show, the smallest leaves, the slightest bud, from ancient bark to grow. Winter comes to all that lives, the ice that slays the root. If spring shall ever shine again, will you still bear a shoot? How beyond, how fine your trees stand gilded by the sun. I don't want anyone sacrificed. No more. We are Fire+Ice. Thank you very much. I've been very proud to work with these three Americans. I really have. They've done a great job. I'd like to thank them publicly for it. A single word can tie or untie a fate. To speak or stay silent will always vex the wise. Quit fruit, tenebris agit. The weight of his shadow will always haunt him. So how will you interpret the silence that surrounds you? Quid luciferit tenebris agit. The weight of his shadow will always haunt him. Never forget that. The weight of his shadow will always haunt him. And you will need to hear as a shadow against the ear, the code of creation, mind and marrow, bone and blood. Quid luciferit tenebris agit. Any name will shape, just as it comes from shape. So when will you find the wiring under the board? Quid luciferit tenebris agit. To pay the price of power whenever you wield it, you can shine like fire in the jaws of chaos. Quid luciferit tenebris agit. He's weird, he's hidden beneath the wanderer's hat, and his life thread is woven into all father's cloak. Quid luciferit tenebris agit. A fractured mind. A fractured mind.
Fractured man.
A fractured mind.
Fractured man.
A fractured mind. Fractured
the shoreline, wait among the green, tread careful over barrow, hide and screen. Focus on the 9 keys and all the ways between, and call up the 4 winds, call up the 4 winds. Silence all the senses, pause without the hide, let mind be on the sense point and run. Tear apart the gateway and every shadow side, and call up the 4 winds, call up the 4 winds. Carve across the east side, scribe upon the west, set craft between the layers aging rest. Act against the lightness, set seals about to jest, and call up the 4 winds, call up the 4 winds. All around is equal, every mask is seen, carry out the sentencing and dream. Open up the knotwork and watch the raven preen, and call up the 4 winds, call up the 4 winds. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.